Recycling. Many of us may think we're doing a reasonably good job at recycling, but after Kate took me on a tour through a recycling plant, I learnt that unfortunately, it's quite the opposite.
Right, so Brad, this is the recycling facility where
Right.
all the recycling comes in off the back of the trucks.
Okay, so the trucks come in here, they dump their load that they've picked up from the curbside,
Yep.
and then it goes to, I'm guessing, a sorting line.
Yes, it does.
So some of the things, I've just seen a Christmas tree over here.
Yes.
So someone thought that they could recycle a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to recycle a Christmas tree, they should have just got a normal Christmas tree. Or
Right.
if they were going to have a plastic Christmas tree, they could have used it for many, many years.
Right. So things like this, is this going to get sent to landfill or is that going to get recycled?
That's going to be sent to landfill
Why?
because it's not, one is it's big, so it actually can't go through the sorting line. That would get trapped in the equipment, so they don't want that sort of size thing in there. Even things like this here, this is a bit of a risk because it could get wrapped around some of the equipment. So they'll be trying to take off as soon as possible. But I mean, there's huge amounts of contamination that you can see just looking at this point here. And
Wow.
that's just straight out of people's bins.
So from here, it goes through to the sorting line.
Yes.
All right, let's go have a look.
So Brad, this is the sorting line.
Right.
So
So what happens here?
everything that we saw on that pile is going to come up through this process and it's going to be sorted. So a lot of people don't realise in New Zealand the recycling is hand sorted, so people actually touching it.
Right. And just you saying that, I've spotted something over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see what I see.
It's a
But there is-
special pair of undies for you. It's a
Right. I'm not wearing gloves.
look, it's
so
even got some hairs in it.
Great. So someone has honestly thought that they could recycle that and put it in their recycling
They
bin.
have, yeah.
Okay, so
And
to
thought
clarify,
somebody needed undies.
underwear cannot be recycled.
No, it can't.
Best thing, wash it, drop it off to Salvation Army, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll put them in the worm farm maybe.
Or in the worms will love them.
They will.
Well, worms eat hair, don't they?
They do.
Right.
Oh, did you want me to keep them?
No, it's right. It's fine. You keep going. You keep going. So what's going to happen? So it comes through. These people are actually sorting through.
They are. So off here is coming cardboard here and some of the soft plastics. Now, most councils you can't put soft plastics in the recycling.
Right.
Yeah. Then we've got so there's more cardboard and there's rubbish on the other side and glass in the middle.
Right.
So these guys are actually looking for contamination. So anything that shouldn't be in the recycling, they'll be pulling off.
So what
And
is classed as contamination that they're looking for?
So dirty bottles,
Underwear?
underwear, yeah. Any sort of clothing. Those they have bags where people have put their recycling in bags. They'll get taken off and thrown away because it could just be rubbish. But a lot of it is like food waste and things like that, which is, and you can see like this chute here will be filling up and it will be going picked up and put into a bin at the end of the line that goes to landfill.
Wow.
Yeah. So down this way, Brad, there's a couple of quite cool different systems going on here.
Right.
Up here, there is a big heavy magnet that's pulling off all
Look,
the
all the cans are flying up.
Yeah.
Right.
So the cans fly up off the belt and go into there,
Right.
and then they come down and they get baled into the baler over here.
Right.
They weigh hundreds of kilos.
Wow.
Yeah. And then as we come along this area, these guys are looking for specific plastics and different materials. So here we've got some cardboard coming off. There's the milk bottles are going into one area.
Right, so they're separating.
They're separating all the plastics so they can get the best value for the plastic.
Right. Is this where we've got a number 1 or a number 2 on that
Yes.
in the recycle logo?
Yeah.
So are they separating those grades of plastic?
Yeah, they're separating the different grades into different bales.
Right.
And they're also, they'll be leaving anything that's contaminated, so that will go to the end. And at the same time with this sort of system, this is where it's really important that you know from your local council whether you should have lids on or lids off. Because these guys have got lids on, but then if you're in another council area, it might be lids off.
What have we got here?
So Brad, this is a great example. This is all the stuff that's come off the end of the line or been pulled off up the top where I showed you.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that people have put in the recycling bin that's not recyclable. So all of this is going to landfill. So for example, something that they're constantly dealing with is disposable nappies.
Right. So someone's put this in their recycling bin.
They have.
So the
And
only
there's
place
lots
for
of them.
this is in the
Is in landfill.
Is in landfill.
Yeah, yeah. Another example is like bags full of rubbish. That just gets pulled off right at the start and goes straight to landfill.
So if I'm putting all my recycling into a plastic bag and tying it up, and then I put that and I go, oh yeah, I'm doing my job as recycling. No.
No, it's going to landfill.
Okay.
And because the problem is, like this bag being an example, you
Oh,
could
God.
have done a really good job of washing your recycling, but then in this bag here, we've got pizza boxes, bacon rinds.
So there's food in
bones,
here.
there's food.
So someone's gone.
It's really
This
stinky.
is recycling. Oh, what's that?
That's bacon.
Right. So someone thought that they could recycle that.
Bacon.
Okay.
And you can see there's lots of them, lots of bags. Also got flowers, because they're plastic, people think they can be recycled. A lot of people think because anything's plastic it can be recycled, but there's actually quite strict rules, and that's where it's really important you look at your council information about what you can and can't recycle.
So I see a pillow there. Someone's thought
They,
someone could do with that.
yeah, they probably thought somebody could do with that. And I mean, another example here is the blinds, you know. I don't know what would make somebody think that that is recyclable. Like, it's definitely not. And even if it was in perfect condition when they put it in the recycling bin, thinking somebody else might like them, now you can see that they can't be used. So this is rubbish. This is not recycling, and there's all sorts of stuff in there.
So I'm seeing things like the KFC box down there. Like
Yep.
people are obviously thinking, oh, well, it's cardboard.
Yeah.
It can be recycled.
It's food contaminated. So you
Is it the
can't-
same as this
Yep.
pizza box?
Yep.
here?
So this pizza box, you have to check with your council whether you're...
Oh, look, we've got a slice. You want lunch? Someone's kindly left us a few. I mean, they should have eaten the crust
They
to
should
begin
have,
with.
and the whole pizza,
But they've
really.
left a slice of pizza and thought, well,
and
we
then
can recycle that.
it. Yeah, but in some councils you can't recycle pizza boxes because they're food contaminated, so that can't be recycled, and there's a few that can. So another little point to check.
So
where
what's
you're
the
living.
best bet with a pizza box?
Look, pizza boxes and any food contaminated paper, like your fish and chip wrappers, best thing is to put them in the compost bin. Or your worm farm, because it'll be eaten up by the worms.
So you can put
They'll
that
live-
stuff in your compost?
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, and I just rip mine up. So I
Yeah.
just rip it up and then stick it in the worm farm or the compost bin.
So like this Ginola bottle here, like
Yep.
it's plastic, it could be recycled. Why has it ended up in this bin and going to landfill?
Because they'd put it in a rubbish bag. And
Which is contaminated with food.
Yeah, and that's but sometimes people can put a whole lot of like grass. They could put a whole lot of sand or dirt in their recycle bin, and it gets a little bit wet. And what they don't realise is that they can contaminate a whole lot of recycling just from that one little mistake. And it's not just their bin that's affected. It can be a whole truckload of bins in some cases.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But I mean, it's just because we're lazy. We're really lazy.
So I guess a lot of the contamination coming through where the hazards are, we're getting broken glass is probably a big one for our guys, so they must wear gloves at all times to prevent the cuts and things like that. Objects such as needles coming through, which really clearly aren't a recyclable item, but they do come through at times. Everything that comes in through the recycle bins, someone is physically handling that product or having it go at least across the conveyor in front of them, so they're seeing everything if they're not having to handle it. And I guess the big thing is just getting people to think about what products they're putting in. Items like even though they're plastic meat trays and things that are contaminated aren't actually a recyclable product, that ultimately we want to be recycling as much as we can and having very little waste coming through the plant here. So I guess the biggest piece of advice from me and the guys here would be just to ensure things go in the correct bins. So waste products in the waste bin and the actual recyclables in the recyclable bin. The sustainability is a big thing. Let's recycle the right product and keep that happening.